What's up, MFs? Welcome back to the Snake Pit. This is episode 92. I did this one with Alexis. It was a great one. We just went all over the place with our conversation, and but I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. We kind of talked about, him mentoring young students here in Lubbock, and we talked about science and technology, life, death, all sorts of things. Man, it was fun, and also thank you to Julian. He's back, and it's good to have him back. And thank you, Alexis, for coming on, man. It was fun. So I got shirts made. I have a few hoodies left, only size large, so hit me up. The shirts are 20 and the hoodies are $30. Other than that, if you would, please continue to like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever, man. Get the word out. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who listens, and thank you to people who are buying shirts and all of that. Hope you guys enjoy. There you go. Well, we're live already. So.
It feels good, man.
Hey, we're here. We don't have to have a countdown.
Yeah, go ahead and 3.
How are you doing, sir?
1.
There you go, man.
3, 2, 1.
There you go, man. How you doing? You good?
I'm great.
You feeling good?
I feel, lighted up.
Yeah,
literally because there's so many lights.
Because it's fucking bright as fuck. It is. I have somebody. It's all gonna be fixed next week, guys. Don't worry.
Oh, no, you should keep it this way. It feels like all the lights are on you.
You feel like a star.
Like a star.
There you go, man.
See, but a star shines from the inside out.
Oh, then see, your brightness is shining on me. That's why,
Yeah, exactly.
But we got young Jules back, sir. I'm glad you're back.
Of course, man.
Thank you for being here.
Of course. I missed it, man. Been a while.
You been all right?
Yes, sir.
Everything good. Do you like the new setup? Good. You haven't seen the new setup.
Nah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
I dig it a lot.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And we're back on the beer. It's no more dry January. So there you go. And
cheers to that.
Yeah, man.
Hey, you earned that one.
Yeah. Sure. So tell us about yourself, man. What do you do in life? What do you got going on?
What do I do in life? Of course. So who am I? Alexis Emmanuel, Cornidez, a kid from New Mexico, small town. Lived in Lubbock, going on 2 years, moving. Actually, that's some news.
Nice.
There you go. That's heard it here first, folks.
I love that. Where are you moving?
Florida.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Jacksonville, Florida. I've had a very entertaining life story for like 26 years old, and a lot of it was just moving. And we were talking about it. My girlfriend, we were talking about my lady earlier.
Yeah,
love my life, amazing. And we were just talking about like what is the thing that's keeping people from leaving, And I was like, oh, it's family. But then she was also saying like, no, people just get content and, all those other types of things. So I'm like, well, I've never lived in the same place after I graduated high school for longer than like 2 years, 3 years, whatever, And so I'm like, yeah, like I think people don't realize if family is the thing that they're saying is holding them back, that you can take a trip, they're a flight away. So I think more people need to, just go for what they want in life.
I believe that. Hell yeah.
What about you, Doug? How's life? How's life right now? You all right? You doing good?
Nobody asked me that. Everything is, in all honesty,
it's a hard time right now,
And that's why I hate saying this. It's like everything's
gotta mask up.
Yeah, man. Be careful out there. You gotta
do it. You gotta do it for not for yourself, but for other people.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say that, but it's like life has just been really good. Everything's coming together. Everything's working out. But also, I can say that because I fucking worked my ass off for it. So, I can sit here and say that. I got merch. By the way, shirts are
Hell
out.
yeah, bro.
Got the sweater out.
I'm about to cop some of that.
I got it in the back, so whenever you're ready, man.
Hell
so
yeah.
all y'all out there.
I'll tell all my people too. That's a great design.
Yeah, shout out to Paramount Prince. He does all my shit, man. He's like a little graphic designer.
Word.
He needs to get on his shit. I always call him out. Yeah, man, everything's good, and we're just doing our thing.
Yeah,
I enjoy talking to people.
of course.
I'm glad to have you because you're like one of the first non-rappers in a long time. So
Yeah.
it's cool to talk to other. I enjoy the rappers. I love you guys, the music guys. You guys are great, but
Oh no,
I need to veer off from them a little bit sometimes. Sometimes.
Yeah. You got to share the limelight, right? Once again, these lights, so many of them.
Yeah, man.
But like just talking about music in general too, like that's something that truly I'm passionate about too, right? Like there's so many things that I want to do in life, and the thing that I tend to forget is you have a whole lifetime.
Yeah.
You don't have to do everything right now, because if you're trying to do everything, you're not going to do anything. But one of the things that I'm truly passionate about is like the music industry. So I was even, catching up on my snake pit.
Yeah.
I'm like checking, just seeing what's out there, especially
It's a lot of local guys.
No, well,
on
I
the
mean,
Snake Pit.
that's what's great, right?
Yeah.
Like coming out of Lubbock, it's the heart of Lubbock. Like I live in the heart of Lubbock, 50th Street, So it feels good to feel like I'm part of the community and in such a short amount of time. Like that I'm talking to people like you.
Yeah, I didn't know you weren't from here, and I didn't know you've only been here for that long.
Yeah, man.
Because I know you're in it.
Yeah,
I've always
bro,
known you.
I try to get
for the times I've seen you. I'm like, yeah, this guy's involved. I didn't know you were not from here. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. That's how I do it. Like I try to get in the community wherever I am. Like the word community can be real general or really big. It covers a lot of things. Like even think of community like at mass, church.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're right. Like there's so many uses of the word. So whenever I think about it, I'm like, what makes a community what it is? It's like the people. So then, okay, well, go out and meet as many people as you can, right? And then Corona happens. So then you're spent a whole year of like connections that I could have made, right? But I guess in that time, it was more so the connections that I did make, I only made them deeper. So it's like you always have this feeling that you're missing out on something. But in reality, if you use what you have everything you need. You know what I mean? Like that's why I shoot you messages. I be hitting on my boy Carrots,
Yeah, shout out to Matt.
Sweatsuit, my boy. He said, I got Carrot everything. I said, yeah.
When you think of Carrots, you think of him. I'll give him that. He embodies that.
And so that's why, like I just be talking to people on a regular basis, just trying to deepen relationships, because that's the core of community.
Yeah.
It's like the relationships that you have with people. So even though I've lived here a short amount of time and I've lived in many places, I feel like I've gotten very embedded into those communities, because I'm just out there doing the real work, which is talking to people. Like that's a hard job. Like that's what I do also here in Lubbock. If you didn't know, if you're always wondering like, what does this dude do here though?
Yeah, tell us what you do. What do you do?
I'm a mentor. I'm a STEM mentor.
STEM, what is that?
Science, technology, engineering, math. STEM mentor at the high school, Lubbock High.
Okay.
Yeah. I work for...
We got the little thing.
Oh, yeah. I actually wore that so that we could talk about it. And I also said that my first question was going to be, how do I look? Like up here. I didn't want to look in the camera. I haven't seen myself since this morning because I've been so busy.
Yeah.
I'm just going meeting to meeting.
That's what I like. I like people that look a little like they've been working. We need that.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's all we can do.
They need to quit worrying about what they look like and worry about what's in front of them.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah, do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. So yeah, well, you mentor kids at Lubbock High.
I do. Lubbock High School.
In that side, like science and all that.
Yeah. Well, the really interesting thing with Lubbock High is that it became a magnet school, right? So it was the place to go specifically for STEM. Now that's only been for like the past 10 years, a little over, and it's because it was the inner city school. right? So they started expanding Lubbock and the way that it started growing, suburbs, those types of things. There's not really a suburb here, but yeah, like little towns.
Like Cooper.
Yeah,
I guess you would say that area.
Exactly, right? So it's almost its own little suburb. And when that was happening, you had this, it's called suburban sprawl, where people leave the inner city and go to
They're all going south.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah,
you can only go so far south before you hit, what's that next town?
New Home, Woodrow, all that area.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
You can only go more south. And when that happened, you had the same thing that happens in most inner cities going on in Lubbock, right? So Lubbock High became the inner city school. Only people from the east side started going to there. So then you had all these like low income or first generation students who weren't going to college and things like that, right? They were just staying in Lubbock and in their community and things. So what they did was, I don't know who, they decided, we're going to make Lubbock High the school for science and technology instead of any of the others, right? All the other ones have whatever they have,
athletics.
Sports.
Yeah, athletics.
right.
Yeah. So wait, before you say that, so first generation, does that mean they're first generation Americans?
College.
College?
Bound. Yeah,
Oh,
first
okay.
generation college bound.
Okay.
Yeah, but see, I fuck with the first generation Americans because that's me.
Okay.
what I mean?
Where your parents from?
Mexico.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what.
Yeah.
Some Latin people get mad when you're like, you're Mexican. No, I'm not. I'm this and that. Oh, well, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Mexicans here in Texas. My bad.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Man, not like Hispanic. I actually took this class my first year in college, and it was just like like an advanced Spanish class with an amazing professor. She studied at UT Austin.
You went to Tech?
I didn't go to Tech.
No,
man.
Well, that's a stupid question. You just
Well, no. Once again, I had a very interesting life after 18, right? So I went to Western New Mexico University. That was in my small town in New Mexico.
What town is it?
Silver City.
Where's
Silver
that?
City is on the west side. So all the eastern, cities in New Mexico, Hobbs.
I know Eastern New Mexico.
All those.
I know that school.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. So we're the opposite, right? So we're on the western side. We're closer to Arizona.
Okay.
So what's really interesting about that place in general is that it's a mining region. So yeah, it's crazy, right? So on the east side you have oil in Lubbock also, which is West Texas, right? So West Texas, East New Mexico, all oil. On the western side of the state, you have mining, like for minerals, like copper, silver, gold, where that's how you have it in Arizona too, which is here's the interesting part. Growing up, playing athletics and, growing up like a normal kid, me too. You would go and play schools in Arizona.
Oh, really?
Right?
I know a lot of those Eastern New Mexico, they come here and play.
Yeah. So same thing.
Yeah.
We would go to Arizona, right? Well, the funniest part is that we shared a lot of the same experiences because we were all mining communities. We were state lines, completely different states, but the people were so familiar to each other because we all lived the same experience, right? That's crazy.
There you go.
That's so crazy.
I just want to say this before we continue on. We have a fourth guest, this little flying fucking insect around. If you see it, I'm so sorry. It's fucking bothering me, but it's around and I'm not going to be able to kill it.
Yeah, it's
Just letting you know, that's the buzzing.
It was my idea to keep him.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to lie.
So what is it? So your parents are from Mexico?
They're from Mexico, yeah.
And they can't. Do you know their story?
Bro, yeah.
What's like their story? Was it easy? Was it hard?
Those are all relative. What's hard for you?
Well, because I've heard stories where they just came over and where they were citizens, and then I've heard where they've had to like sneak in here, and fight for it for 30 years. Like I just had my uncle's wife, her dad just became a citizen, and I'm pretty sure he's been here for like 30, 40 years. So I mean, you're right. It is relative. But like,
because
did they just come
struggle,
here?
bro.
Did they just?
That's
come
a hard
here?
struggle.
I know like a lot. Like now, I don't know the whole stories, but I know some people have to sneak over here. I know some people could just fucking drive over here. What was it like?
Oh yeah, no, bro. Like it's a very complicated issue, right? Because I think we can all kind of remember at the start of the coronavirus, there was this other thing going on, which was like migration. We had this huge influx of migrants coming from Central America into Mexico. And so you had these, tens of thousands of people, 10,000, maybe 30,000, whatever, trying to get into America because it's a land of opportunity, right? And you have to think like, okay, well, should we let them into the country? Like 10,000 extra people to feed, 30,000 extra people to feed. Like how bad is the situation at home? I guess that's the thing that they're not really thinking about. They're kind of just
I always think about that. I think like, why are they leaving? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. And it's terrible, honestly. Like
it really must be.
Well, okay. Let's backtrack real quick. Like systems, right? Like systems of government and things. So there's this idea of like capitalism, right? There's the free market economy. So that's no regulation from government.
I like capitalism, by the way.
Oh, me too. I'm pro capitalism.
Okay.
Right?
I mean, if you're not, if you are, it is what it is,
Yeah, no. And I think, we'll have some time.
I'll just throw that out there for the people listening.
that when we're thinking about the capitalistic system, we're thinking of what's called a free market, right? So no regulation, no government interference. That's the goal, right? Like for a true capitalist, they're trying to get no government regulation, whatever.
Competition wins, right?
Yeah, exactly. So when you get to Mexico, it's a free market. Okay, there's hardly no regulation. You can start a business out of a garage. You can start a business out of your house, selling hot dogs, tacos, whatever, right? That's true competition. Those are entrepreneurs, selling chiclets or washing windows. The hustle is real.
Yeah, hustle.
How many of them are going hungry at night? Too many. So as you go farther down, right, Central America probably has it the hardest. They're like colonialized. They're marginalized. They have no opportunities.
When you say colonialized, what does that mean? Like
that
they work for somebody else, like, or somebody else owns it, like,
like
particularly white men.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like the history has been a colony, right, of somebody else. So they have been extracted of almost everything that they have, especially like even their talent. Even the brightest minds, they get taken out or they even leave, and then you have these other things called like brain drains and things. Yeah. And I guess to go back to,
I was saying, the original question was like, how was your parents' story?
Yes. So immigration is hard, right? Like in different terms.
Yeah, I guess it depends on situation.
Yeah. So my parents, love them, great people, amazing. So my mom is from a real small, like ranch town. Like it's kind of what's called a colonia. So it's like an outside of a city.
Where at? Because Young Jules, your family's from like shit, like
a little ranch.
Okay, which state?
San Luis Potosí.
Okay, so we're from Sonora. So that's borders with Arizona.
Yeah,
and
the Sonora Desert. No,
yeah, exactly. And so my mom is from a real small town up in the mountains in Sonora, which is Cumpas. It's a small river community. I mean, great place. Okay, sorry about that place real quick. Me and my best friend went there for New Year's like 4 years ago or something.
I wanted to do that.
What?
Go get fucked up in Mexico. That's what
No, check this out. There's a tradition in this small village, right, community, which is that you pretty much from like Christmas to New Year's, like the fourth day or something, you're just partying the whole time, right?
Y'all do that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they'll literally have like a dance on New Year's. Okay, now we're just focusing on New Year's. Like there's a party this whole week, but New Year's specifically. You go to this dance and you're there till like 5 a.m, 6 a.m, and it's all like from 14 years old to like, whatever. Whoever can stay up that late, pretty much. From there, you go straight to like the town plaza, the town square. and there's bands playing on every corner. So you
Nice.
keep the party going for, let's say, another 6 hours or something. So it's like 12. So then you go home, take a nap, shower. You come back at like 1 or 2, and there's horse races going on. Literally in like a stretch of land that is just like sand, that what they put like these fences on, and trucks just lined up. All your cousins are just betting on horses and trying to pass you beers. So it's like
a good time.
And then my birthday is on the 3rd. So I guess
shit.
that's why we were really partying until the 4th, is because my birthday is on the 3rd. So yeah, man, it was a good time. That's what I gotta say about
There you go.
Cumpas. That's where my mom's from. My dad, he's from Agua Prieta. So that's the border town with like Arizona and Mexico, Sonora. And the American side is called Douglas, Arizona. So that's actually where both my parents met, was in Douglas in high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so did they?
From there?
Were they just able to come here and be Americans?
So my dad struggled a little more. My mom, so that situation was really hard, right? So now we're talking about relative, like hard, like
Yeah.
the work that you have to do. You have to be in this country for 35 years, for example, right?
That's close.
That'd be tough, right? So my grandpa, he came over to work under I don't know which administration.
Reagan.
Yes.
Reagan.
The braceros.
Yeah.
So my grandpa was a bracero.
That's what I was wondering. I really was. I was like, because I know some of them were just invited over here to come do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he worked his ass off. He worked many years and died real young. I didn't even get to meet him, So, but the coolest thing was I was in an art museum in like Chicago or New York or something. And once again, dude, I just travel all the time.
Nice.
I be doing random things. If anybody knows anything about me, it's that I just be doing random stuff. So I'm at this art museum, and it was like this Chicano artist, and it was an art exhibit all about the braceros. And until that moment, I didn't truly understand what it meant to be a bracero. But when you saw that art, and I can't remember the exhibition's name or anything, but when you saw that art, it was so powerful. Like you would see these literally, like most of them Mexican men, right? That's who was really getting asked over to come over to work. You could see them just like struggling with being put like weight on them, like 3 sacks of whatever it was, right? And they're probably working in like agriculture, so grain, cotton, whatever it was. Literally,
Cotton around here.
and literally packed up to their back to the point where their back literally would start arching, right? Like where they were. So this is the problems with capitalism, is that if somebody wants to, they can capitalize on humans
Yeah,
and
someone's
human
getting
lives,
exploited, huh?
human lives, where these people's bodies literally showed their experience of being the idea of like the weight of the world on your shoulders, literally being on your shoulders to the point where your back starts arching. And what makes me think of that is a sculpture that this artist had, where it was literally this spine, like crooked over with the sacks on it.
Dang.
Like, so that was my, how much of that was my grandpa's experience, I can't tell you, but to be a bracero, I could tell you that shit was hard.
Yeah, I've heard. I don't know how extensive that shit was from like my grandparents, and even like my dad. He was
Thank you, sir.
He was that's what he did. He went and go and pick cotton when he was young, and they hoed weeds and shit. Man.
Well, that was my dad experience, dude.
They were like, I don't know. It's crazy because you have one end, you have like guys making all this money, and then but you in a sense you are giving people opportunity and you are giving people work, and
no, of course.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. It's
complicated.
It's very complicated.
And I think so this is something that I face in my daily life, right? Working with high school students, is that the education system is totally fucking terrible, And it's not because
So what do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean by it's? What do you mean it's terrible? Because
like,
my mom works at Hutch Middle School, and my sister goes there, so I hear it.
That's awesome.
I know. So I
That's
want to know
awesome.
what you got to say about it.
yeah, no, and a lot of my students went to Hutch, right?
Yeah, they all
So-
go.
So that's why like Cavazos and Hutch, those are kind of like feeder schools for Lubbock High. So yeah, all of my middle schools, you know, I love all my students, whoever they are. Like they could be whoever they want around me. So that's at least what they know. You know, I might be a random ass person, but at least they can be who they are. You know, that's the type of mentor that I want to be.
Yeah, the older I get, and the more I like. I guess just the older you get, and the more experience you get, it's like, damn, like a lot of people are not given a chance to be who they are.
Yeah, man.
I would even say, especially like people from, you know, Mexican, Black, Asian cultures, they're like, no, you can't be this. You're not supposed to be this.
Yeah.
They motherfuckers hate that I got my fucking fingernails painted. You know what I'm saying? Like they hate that shit.
Yeah.
You know, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't do that. That's what, you know, I hear that all. I used to hear that. I'm like, that must really. Now that I'm older, is what I was saying. Is like, it must suck to hear that. I never really did, but it must suck to hear like, don't do that. Guys don't do that. Boys don't do that. Girls don't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
You know what I mean? That really must suck.
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, like, damn,
who are you to tell me that I can't do something?
I know that I'm older. I'm like, fuck, that really must suck. Growing up hearing that, because thank God I never did. But not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
Again, especially from immigrants, right? Or those more traditional backgrounds.
Oh, of course,
they're like,
man.
don't do.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you're like that because there needs to be more people like that. And it's like,
And that's how I put it, right? Like,
yeah.
The mentor that I want also is the one that I can literally be myself. Like that I'm comfortable enough to give them all my colors, whether it's good or bad, so that they can be the one to tell me like, hey man, I can't tell you anything about your life, but looking from my experience, you know, this is kind of what I'm seeing. You know, I'm not going to tell them anything. I'm not going to tell them to do anything because that takes you back to capitalism. So once again, I'm a huge capitalist. I'm a big fan. I'm an entrepreneur.
I'm a fan of it too, man.
Right? But then there's a limit for everything.
So is there such a thing as ethical capitalism?
Oh, dude, that's what I'm saying, bro. Ethics, right? Like,
Yeah.
why don't we teach ethics in high
I took
school?
a class in college.
In high school,
Oh, in high school, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
right? Why are we not taught ethics since we're in like elementary?
It makes sense. That's the one
Right.
place you should, right?
Because what we're hoping does it is religion, and that's only getting more complicated.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like what I was thinking about for my kids. Their lives are only getting more complicated. Like you have social media, you have all these connections, people are always watching you, and then they have it coming from their parents.
No,
Like,
yeah, that's what I
who
mean.
to
Though
be.
life is complicated. The more, not even the more older you get, just the older I get, I realize how more complicated life has become. It's like fuck.
And I guess that's the nice thing about where we are, like in the time spectrum, is that we've gotten to see it all.
Yeah, that's what I'm
unfold.
saying, dog. I mean, for real, man. It was.
You know, like,
really have.
like we get to see it all, so we got to prepare. But what I'm worried about is these babies, you know, like these babies are gonna have to experience this. So we need to be the ones to understand what it means to be them, right? They're not growing up how we grew up, right?
Yeah.
We have experience that can help us live through these hard times. Whereas these kids, this is the first time they've ever had to live through a pandemic or have to do
Crazy.
remote education and have to worry about who they are and have to worry about mom and dad and do they have a job and are they eating because they were only eating at the school. So where am I going to get fed? Because mom and dad, you know, like,
Yeah. Shit, kids shouldn't worry about.
yeah, man, they're
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
They're kids. Actually, I heard the very latest podcast where, you and my boy Trip.
Oh, Trip to Me?
Yes,
Oh, wait.
bro.
Yeah.
Y'all were talking about imagination as kids, right? You're like, dude, I kept my imagination. That's why you're.
Oh, yeah, he asked me. I was like, yeah, I still got it.
Yeah, me too, right? Like,
Yeah, you got to.
and that's the thing that you have as a kid, right? So if we're bombarding them with all this other stuff, they're not getting to be a kid which is they're not getting to
That's
imagine
what I think about.
whatever the
sometimes,
fuck
like,
they want to imagine about,
Yeah, they really don't. They worry about a pandemic and shit. Like, damn, we were just chilling. We were having fun. We were being kids when we were kids. I don't know. It's
That's
a
all it
wild
is.
world.
It gets, it only gets more complicated. But that's why I also think, like, why can't, so back to systems, right? I said that at the very beginning, systems. So why can't our systems become just as, not complicated, but complex? Like, why can't our systems be following this? Why are we keeping the same system and just putting individuals into it?
Why? What do you think?
Well, I think, like,
Is it political?
no, it's not political. It's more so just, like, mental, right? Like, we're not teaching people how to do crazy things like meditate or,
That's
be
what
in
I've
the
always
moment.
said. You need to learn how to teach yoga in elementary schools and shit, man.
Well, and so that we can understand our emotions, but then from there, now you get this thing called consciousness. And don't talk about that. That's a tough one. How conscious do you want people to be, or whatever? It's like, nah, man. Like, why are we not teaching this idea of consciousness, right? Of being aware of your mind, your ideas, your experience, the moment that you're in, whatever it is. Instead, we're just like, no, those are crazy things. So go ahead and open up chapter 8. We're going to talk about, I don't fucking know, something about, world history or whatever. That's happened 3 times already.
Yeah, I'll say this, man. My ex-girlfriend, she has a kid, and I told her, like, you should probably, I was like, I don't want to tell you how to parent, but I'll say this, man, learning to be emotionally, like, stable in emotions, how to deal with your emotions, that's a key thing, I think, when
That's
you're
the thing
growing
we
up.
all have to go through,
Yeah, I think that's a key thing growing up.
no matter who you are.
Being emotionally able to, like, just be emotionally stable. I guess that's the word. But it's like how to deal with your emotions,
we
how
all
to
go
handle
through it.
them. Like, that's a fucking key thing.
Individually.
Yeah,
Your emotions aren't mine.
Yeah.
Julian's aren't mine. And mine aren't his. Like, we all have our completely own emotions. So why are we not taught to address it or understand it even?
Understanding it for sure. Really.
That's half the battle.
It's like, what? I need to figure this shit out on our own. Whatever.
Yeah, bro. That's why honestly, bro, I'd be real proud of my work. I think that's what I'm doing. Like how you asked me, what do you do on a constant basis, bro? I'm just trying to give kids life skills that they're actually gonna work. They look at me like I'm crazy sometimes, but then there's other times where, like, that spark hits and they're like, you're not crazy, man. Like, you're giving me some really good information here,
That's good, man. They need it.
Yeah. And so when you were talking about Hutch, what I was thinking of is I actually worked in the elementaries before. So when you met me, I was probably working in advertising, right? So I actually came here to work in an advertising job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's what I was doing. Well, my girlfriend is here, so I came to be with her, right? But whenever I was originally coming here, that's what I had. That was my gig, an advertising job. That's what I studied and stuff. But I started volunteering for this volunteer, or like this nonprofit organization, just talking to 5th graders, giving them these life skills, talking about, and the reason that I think about it is we taught them like self-awareness of emotions. So when you are angry, we ask them, okay, does your emotion decide what you do, or do you decide what you do? And they're like, I think, like, I decide what I do, right? Like, I decide, okay, all right, well, I want you to think about a time when you were mad, right? So mad. What did you do? And so I had this one little girl, she's like, oh, my sister took something and I punched in the face. I'm like, damn. Okay, that's okay. We all gotta start somewhere. So I'm like, okay, well, like, did you ever think to, like, just breathe in that moment and just walk away? Like, did you ever think about that emotion of anger that you didn't want to punch her? And she's like, yeah, of course I don't want to punch my sister, right? So I'm like, you didn't want to punch her. So next time that we get to that point, that anger, right? Because next time it's probably going to be a teacher or whatever it is, right? You're not going to punch them or something, but you might mouth off or, like, just stop and just think about it. Is this you or your
A lot of people
emotion?
need to hear that.
Or is this your emotion? And if it's your emotion, just breathe, walk away, breathe, think about it, be like, okay, this is the right emotion to have. This is a fucked up situation. I should be mad, but here was the second part. I just remembered. Another person doesn't control my emotions. I control my emotions.
Definitely.
That was the whole lesson. 5th graders, bro. That's the type of things that we need to be teaching.
Yeah, because it took me 24 fucking years to learn that shit.
Yeah. And a college degree,
Yeah, and lots of beer and lots of podcasts and lots of talking with my parents. Everything, man. Yeah. See, I'm glad people like you are doing that. Jules, what are we at, man?
We at 34.
I actually have to take a piss.
Oh, see, I called it to
So-
us, man.
You're gonna have to talk to young Jules because I'm
that's
gonna
fine,
leave,
bro.
but we don't pause. So go ahead and mute me, sir.
Yeah, I got
So I
you.
can take a piss.
Yeah, don't make it too loud.
So y'all talk because I don't fucking edit.
It'd be like a waterfall.
Yeah.
Does the sound of water calm you down? Like, does it
No.
calm you?
Nah.
No, it just makes you need to pee.
Yeah. If I really need to go, then yeah, it really does.
But like, when they tell you like you should buy a little fountain, or like you never seen those little fountains at
No.
like Walmart, and they're like
Oh, I think. Yeah.
trickling water and stuff.
Yeah.
You never listened to one of those?
Not really.
Oh man.
Nah. Does it calm you down?
Yeah, honestly, because the mind is always wandering or like
Yeah.
wandering,
Yeah.
So I need to attach myself to other things that are always moving,
Mm.
but that are still calm, which is a
That's
hard thing to find.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you like ever meditate?
Yeah,
or
I do.
You have like
Every morning I stretch out and just meditate for a bit.
hell yeah, bro. That's so cool, bro.
Mm.
I think more people need to like, understand
Right.
those types of things. you know?
Right. So you go to Lobakai to
Yeah, I work there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd be mentoring the kids. So STEM, have you ever heard of STEM?
yeah.
Are you from Lubbock?
Yeah.
Actually? Cool.
I'm,
Which high school did you go to?
Monterey. I'm going to Monterey.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're in high school.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. What grade are you in?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior. Dope, dude.
Yes,
Cool.
sir.
Have you done your FAFSA?
No.
Okay. So I'll give you her number, and who goes to Monterey? It's one of my coworkers. So I'll give her your number, or give you her number. I'll give her your name, and you're gonna do your FAFSA next week.
All right.
And do you want to go to college?
I was planning like technical school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, bro.
Yeah.
There's all types of options, honestly, and but at least this way you'll get one of the biggest things out of the way,
Yeah.
because the government's trying to get you to go to school, so you need to capitalize on that money.
Yeah.
If not, it's gonna go wasted anyway.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey man, it's your money. It's your taxpayer money. It's all of our taxpayers' money. Trying to get this guy to go to college. So
You should be.
it goes back to capitalism and regulations. It's a fun game. What do you think? Have you ever heard of this concept called game theory?
Game theory?
Yeah,
What is that?
it's awesome. That's what it is.
I think I've heard it. I don't know what it is though.
There's a movie. There's a movie about it. Actually, I'm gonna take this off.
Wait, do what you gotta do.
Sheesh. You know?
I forgot how to fucking drink, man. This was like one of my first times getting drunk. I forgot how to hold my shit. So that's why I had to go pee.
Yeah. I should probably, What do you think
Put
of
it on
that?
the table.
What do you think of that? You like that? Look at that.
Are you wearing?
Yeah. Look at what I'm wearing. All my kids always make fun of this. Here you go.
Put it right there.
I'll put it right there.
Well, that's where it folds, so it's gonna. There you go.
There, yeah. There it is. I hope I still get to sign it, but
You can sign that. That's what people are signing now. But yeah, you can sign this too if you remind me. But this is for that.
makes more
You
sense.
gotta remind me.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, at least I've had one mark. I marked it somehow. Yeah, dude, capitalism. Oh, all these things, man. It goes back to this thing. It's called game theory. Super cool fucking concept, right? There was a movie about it in like the 2000s or something. It's called A Beautiful Mind. Have you watched Good Will Hunting?
No, but I've heard of that.
Okay, Good Will Hunting, also really, really great movie. It's kind of like around the same era, so a lot of the same like direction and those types of things. Sorry, got the burps. I could be myself.
Tell the people that are watching you, man. Don't tell me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Thank you. That's all I have. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, fucking Keystone for being so fucking smooth. You
Jules,
know?
I wish you can drink with them.
Like Keystone.
We don't condone the consumption of a minor.
Always giving us the burps.
Yeah.
Keystone. There you go. That should be their new tagline. See, I studied advertising. I told you that.
I had some whiskey, but that would have been a disaster.
Yeah.
It would have. I didn't bring that out.
Oh yeah. No. It's like a twister. It's like a twister, man. You know. You ever watch that movie?
Yeah.
I never have. I just knew the ride. I think there was a ride in Universal Studios or something. No.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I've never been there.
Where have you been, bro? You ever like traveled outside the country?
I've never traveled outside the country.
Okay. If you could. I guess that's another question.
I plan on it.
Question, of course.
I want to go to Europe.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm scared of Mexico. That place scares the fuck out of me.
Come on,
I don't know anybody over there.
Of course, bro.
I don't want to go over there.
Oh, you go with me, dog. We'll go.
Shit. If I can go with you or you, I'll go.
Yeah, we'll go together. We'll all go.
I'll go with y'all.
Party.
Other than that, I will not go. But I've gone. I traveled to Phoenix a lot. So like Phoenix, we drive there. So I've been through these towns you're talking about.
Yeah, you've been to Deming, New Mexico. Mm-hmm. You know where Deming is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been through like.
Shouts out to Deming. Shouts out to Deming. Shouts out to all the homies from Deming.
Las Cruces and like El Paso.
I-10.
I almost went to fucking Juarez. My dumbass took the wrong fucking turn. I was scared of shit.
I think I know exactly what.
You know,
I know exactly what exit and bridge you were taking.
I was scared of shit, dog. I stayed at a really nice hotel, and you could literally walk to Juarez. And I wish it was cool because I would have.
Yeah,
I'd like to, you know.
Yeah, but, I feel that. Yeah, my friends and I were going to Juarez too much our senior year in college.
Damn.
They would tell us not to, and we're like, I know we're not supposed to, but something about the motherland is calling me.
Like, I've never been to Mexico, but I'll say this: like, you can see you know that in El Paso. There's the border.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
You can see the difference between America and
yeah, bro.
And that. And
that's like, a free market for all my capitalists and everybody.
It's fucking crazy.
Free market, no regulation.
So I went to San Diego last year, 2019 was almost year.
I love San Diego.
So, and I seen the border there too.
Oh yeah.
And I think I seen a guy like jump the fence and come across. No,
yeah, probably. No, you probably.
But what I was gonna say though is like I seen what he had to do to get to America. And my thing is like if you can make it here like that, you should be American. Yeah, you deserve to be American. That's traditional. Yeah, you went all out. You deserve an American.
You should be in the Olympic team.
It's fucking crazy. And like another thing is like I've seen assholes in Douglas and I've seen assholes at that border posted there to fucking catch guys like that. I'm like, you motherfucker. Yeah. You have nothing better to do. Yeah, motherfuckers.
You motherfuckers.
But yeah, man, I'd like to go to Europe.
What about one country? If you could go to any country in the world,
Japan.
One, but you can only go with one.
I'm going to Japan.
Nice, that's a good one.
I want to go.
I love Japan. Me
too.
Have
you been there?
No, I love the concept of Japan. You know, the idea of
going. Have you gone outside this?
I haven't gone outside of the continent.
No.
Right. So I guess out of.
Have you been to Canada?
I've never been to Canada. Actually, I've always wanted to. My brother lives in Seattle, so Vancouver. Canada, right pretty sure. Yeah, it's like an hour and a half. Never been. Fuck. Need to go back.
Where would you go if you could go?
If I go anywhere, dog. And it's only one time. Like, one country, one time. I don't know. Probably like Tahiti or something. You know, something real, real hard to get to. I think I want to go the hardest place to go. So
North Korea.
Dang, that's a good one. I was gonna change my idea originally, but now I'm gonna change it against North Korea because I want to go with a place
I would
that
go
I
there.
can't get into.
If I was allowed to go there, I would go there.
Yeah, no, I mean, of course, me too. Oh, I was gonna change my answer. I was gonna say the what's that triangle called that everybody disappears at?
The Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah. That's where I want to go. I want to go to Bermuda, but go through the triangle to get to Bermuda, and it's just off the coast of But hey,
Yeah, it's just right down the. You're gonna be in Florida. It'll be right there.
that's what I'm saying, dog. I actually lived in Florida. That's the other part. So I went to a college in New Mexico, Western, for a total of like 6 months, 5 months or something. Then I got onto a car, drove to Orlando, Florida, and I moved to Orlando for like 9 months. Then I went to Las Cruces. I was there for a year at New Mexico State. And then I went to Mississippi. I went to Mississippi State when Dak Prescott was playing. I don't know if anybody's
okay. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's a Cowboys fan.
Cowboys.
Yeah. So my boy, alma mater. I was there for 1 semester. Went back to New Mexico State. Was there, I think that next semester, one more year, maybe one more year, or that's when I moved to Lubbock. That's about my life story.
What's it like being in Mississippi?
Oh man, it's actually a pretty cool place too. I mean, it was actually really hard for me. Like I got depressed, so this was one of the first times that I like had to experience my emotions. I had nobody, like I had no friends, right? I was in a completely new place, studying a degree that's really hard, civil engineering, right? Like any type of engineering is hard already. And you'll usually have like a study group or, people that you can kind of get help from. I went to a completely new school, and this place is pretty like not divided, but like separatist, everybody kind of sticks to their own, even in that sense, like not even like black and white, more so just like whoever's from there is like completely just inside of that, and you can't get in that circle. So
Dang.
it was honestly hard, bro. Like terrible in like the actual curriculum of the school. I did terrible. These are like hard classes. I had nobody to fucking study with, but I had my first idea there. So what was cool about Mississippi is that's where I came across entrepreneurship. That's why I'm still a capitalist. I'm to the heart and bone. I'm truly a capitalist. And it's because I came across like their entrepreneurship office at Mississippi. And as I was like researching my idea, I'm like, oh, if I'm going through this and I'm struggling at this new school that I know nobody, right? Who else is going through this? There has to be at least, a handful in America going to a new school, transferring freshman year. You've never been to a big city or a different city, whatever it is. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna build an app. How hard could it be?
Nice.
It's a lot harder than it looks. And but I came across the office there, and so that's where I started learning about entrepreneurship and business, and I was still an engineer at that time. But then I was like really interested, so I started googling, right, just searching back at New Mexico State if they had anything like this, and then I come across like a Shark Tank. So at NMSU, shouts out to Studio G, a world-renowned now business accelerator. Shouts out. That's my alma mater once again.
There you go.
New Mexico State. And so whenever I was searching, they had a Shark Tank. So I'm like, I love the show Shark Tank.
the actual show.
Well, it wasn't the actual show. It's just a rendition. Like it's a version for the school. But we bring in like local investors. And it's like 4 students who will pitch their idea to these investors. A couple of them have actually gotten deals. So it's pretty awesome. So they had just had it. So I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, okay, I guess I'll have to wait till next year. But there was a job opening for that place. So I applied, got it, literally coming right back from Mississippi. So the rest is history. If anybody knows Studio G, they know that I was there for like 3 years.
There you go. I hope they do know. I hope they listen.
Yeah, I'll send them your way. I just gave my old supervisor an email. So shouts out to Dr. Kramer. if you're watching this.
Shout out to you, brother. How would you rate Lubbock? You like Lubbock and one of your favorite places you've been?
Yeah, I love Lubbock. Love Lubbock. The scenery isn't the best.
Not at all.
So I was
Especially Saturday, huh? When it was all fucking horrible.
Oh, the wind. Yeah, that
Disgusting.
wind. I forgot about the wind since last spring.
I did too until fucking Saturday. It was fucking disgusting.
Yeah. That was terrible. You know what was so weird about that night? I was literally having dreams about wind. Just like crazy wind. But it's because I saw this on social media though. And I think that's why I was thinking about it was like I was, just scrolling like on the news feed, Facebook, and there's like this picture in one of these small communities, like Lubbock buy and sell or some shit like that, right? Like, but I think I don't know if it was from Las Cruces or back home in Silver City. I don't know which one it was, but they asked like, oh, there's a ring around the moon. What does this mean, right? And then somebody in the comments section was like, oh, my pappy or daddy or whatever told me that every time that happens, it's going to be windy the next day. So I was like, I think thinking about that or something. Cause when I went to bed, bro, I was literally having like almost nightmares of like all this wind and shit. And I like wake up at like 5:30 in the morning or something. Like,
just fucking.
And it was just already outside, like blowing. I'm like, holy shit, dog. Yeah, that's true. Rings around the moon cause wind.
You heard it.
You ever seen those? You ever seen those? Where it's like a cloud. It's like a circle cloud around the moon.
No,
you never noticed that.
I don't pay attention to the stars like that. Nah, I mean, I believe
we started talking about stars, and in the middle, we're talking about stars.
I believe. I mean, there's the heavens tell us more than we probably think they do.
Oh, bro, yeah. Well, the heavens are vast. Like when people think of heaven, they think of like heaven, like the concept of heaven. Like in a religious term. But when you think of the heavens, it's like, imagine if that was even deeper. And like, I probably, that's a controversial thing to say, but like the heavens is vast, bro. It's everlasting.
Do you believe in heaven and hell?
Do I believe in a heaven and hell? Kind of. I have a very, not complicated, but like,
I've never really asked.
It's a question.
I've never really asked anybody this, but are you scared to die? What do you think about death?
Yeah,
I've never asked anybody that.
No, I know that's a really good question, and I think like people who suffer with.
Let me take that back. Do you think about your own mortality? Because I always think about mine.
No, exactly. No, so anxiousness, right? I have terrible anxiousness. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't even tell. I wouldn't tell that you had it either, right?
Well, yeah,
but it's something that we're always thinking about, like thinking about dying, all these things. And so, dude, there was like a bit that I had like anxiety, heavy, and I think I had just never faced it. Right? Like there was always ways that I was coping, doing whatever, like even distracting myself with work or whatever it was,
Sure.
Whenever you have nothing and you just have to focus there for a bit, then you like start noticing like things and you're like, fuck, bro, like something going on. Like, everybody's in on this.
When I was sober this whole month, I thought about dying. Yeah. I really did. I really was like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bro.
We are, again, I always think about it, but it's like, oh, I think this is what dying is like. It's just you and this.
Yeah.
Face to face.
Ah, dude. And that's because
I was very face to face with my own sobriety, my own mind, whatever, the universe. So, well, I'm going to come in contact with this one day and I can't stop it.
And guess what?
I can't stop it.
It's going to be okay.
No, and that too. It's
that was the point.
With the anxiousness too, it's like there's no anxiousness when it comes to that because it's like I can't stop it. It's coming.
Yeah, bro. You had like a realization, an epiphany.
But when you said that earlier too, though, you're like we can't do everything at once. We have a long. I don't know how long we have.
So that's true. No,
I do believe we can do more than one thing at once, but it's like, oh fuck, I got to do a lot because I don't know when I have.
Yeah. See, I guess. Another question is like, do I believe in reincarnation?
Do you?
Like, I don't know, maybe. I believe in a little bit of everything.
I feel that
because it's so complicated once again that I said religion is only getting more complicated.
Because
You know? Everything is getting
I
more
put
complicated.
on my Instagram. I was like, "What do you want to put on your tombstone?" As a question,
That's a good one. Yeah.
and somebody was like, "Solve it in cycles," and I thought about
you said what?
Somebody told me that solve it in cycles.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
So maybe it does take those cycles to figure it out.
Well, dude, yeah, bro. That like that's a really interesting idea or like even phrase because it's so true, right? Like everything works in a cycle. But it's like the yin and yang, you know, good and bad. So then that goes back. So it's a whole nother rabbit hole. Like we can go into all these rabbit holes, but at the end of the day, like it's all good, bro. Like I'm here, you're here. If tomorrow happens and something happens to us, like, hey, you know, it's okay.
So to you, what is the meaning of life to you?
The meaning of life is what you give life meaning to. Yeah. The meaning of life. Okay.
Okay. Well, no. Actually, how do you give life meaning then?
Yeah. No. That's a really great question. Let's see. So, I'm a jokester, right? So I guess I give life meaning to that. It's all fun, right? Like because I have anxiety. Like I have mental illnesses, abilities, capabilities, superpowers. I don't know, something in the mental sphere.
Your mental's not right a little bit to some people, huh?
Exactly.
I feel that.
And like, so I'm always constantly playing this game, right? I'm playing this game with myself all the time. So when I come across something like this idea in economics that's called game theory, all right, that
Here it is.
almost everything in life is a game, even life itself, right? All games
I don't think you ever got back to what game theory is. So now we're back at it. There we go.
Come on, man. I'm conscious. I'm conscious of the things that I'm spitting.
Okay. I'm a little drunk, so I'm sorry.
But I have no agenda though. I don't have an agenda. I came in here. My girlfriend was like, "Make sure you talk about one thing. Don't go all over the place."
I didn't know what you were into about. I didn't know what this was going to be about. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I knew STEM was in your Instagram bio. That's it.
In the
That's
area.
it. I knew
Yeah,
that.
how much did we touch on stems?
A little bit.
Like
Just
a
this
minute?
that's all I knew we were going into. That's the fun part because I wasn't going to ask and I wasn't going to get into it because
Yeah. Well,
you
I
get
guess.
to see it unravel.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah,
it's the realness.
This is the realness of,
It's the fucking
of life,
realness, bro.
right?
Exactly. That's the
People
whole
need
thing.
to hear this.
That's the whole thing. And I think that we should be conscious of our thoughts, right? Like as we're going through this conversation, we should remember all those other things, mostly because that's going to keep our mental state like healthy. We're not going to get Alzheimer's. I think that's the good news about people like us that are overthinking. This is just, you know, not in any way a theory or I haven't researched this or anything. But if we're always overthinking, maybe our neurons are just like built like bodybuilders, you know?
That's
So
what that
later
scares
on,
me
we don't get it.
because my granny had it, but she didn't die from it, but she had it.
Yeah.
That scares the shit out of me. So maybe
Yeah.
we'll have something. I always think about me. The end. I always do. I think about the end of this. I think about the end of my life. The end of whatever I'm doing. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
bro.
I'm always thinking
No.
about it.
And like, okay, so once again, I play these games too, right? We
Maybe it is the game theory.
It's a game.
Yeah,
it's
it
a
is
game,
a
right?
game.
Because at the end of the day, we're all against ourselves, or we're all with ourselves, not against ourselves, with ourselves. Back to what we were talking about. You're never taught emotions. You're never taught how to deal with
we
your
weren't.
thoughts. You're never taught any of these things, right? So what's the thing that no matter who you are, if you're an engineer or you are a podcaster or you are a truck driver or you're a cabinet maker, at the end of the day, all those people have their own lives and they all have their own shit going on. It doesn't matter which one is harder. Everybody got shit going on. You know what I mean? So that's where it's like, okay, emotions are the first place, right? But then whenever you have something like a mental disability or illness or superpower, right? Then you start noticing like, oh fuck, man, once again, is the world conspiring against me? Like, is there something I don't know here? Like, is my reality not everybody or whatever it is, right? Of course, like,
Sure.
shoot, man.
Sure.
Shoot, right? So that's where it becomes a game where you're like, who am I playing against? And we're taught competitiveness because of capitalism. Like we have to be the best, right? Like who am I playing against? Who am I playing against? And you come to the conclusion that you're playing against yourself, anxiety, right? So then what do? Well, you're like, mind, I love you. You know, like, you're so crazy sometimes.
Oh, that's again another thing that I learned in sobriety is like what my mind really is. It's 31 days without nothing. It's like, oh, this is what you are. Okay. I don't know if I love you, but I appreciate you. I know what you are.
Well, and here's the thing, like, I guess you have to look at it like family, you know, like
you're stuck with me.
Your
forever.
family, yeah, your family could be like a POS, piece of shit. But at the end of the day, like, you're probably gonna love them. And you don't even know why. Like, you probably shouldn't even love it.
Here's my mentality. It's like, I do love you because I have to. I feel like I have to love you because you are family.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, that makes sense.
I have to love you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You are family.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's more like I have to. But I got you. You know.
Well, and so then, whenever you look at it this way, you know that in reality, there is no game, right? Nothing matters. At the end of the day, nothing matters, except for the things that you give matter to, right? And what is matter? Well, it's like fucking things that we can touch. Well, how much our ideas matter, right? Like, well, they're just ideas, so just shut them up or whatever they tell us not to do, right? Like, oh, just ignore it. I was like, fuck, man, I can't ignore it. My mind is literally fucking over talking all the time, dub, coming at me. So what do? Now I get back in the game. I'm like, all right, mind, you're going too crazy, bro. So I'm gonna have to give you some other shit. And I literally just start saying words, bro. That's how I get myself to sleep. Like, it's probably hard to sleep, right? As you're like laying in bed where you're like, just like thinking,
overthinking everything.
So what do? I close my eyes. I look at that darkness, you know, your eyelids. I look at that and then I just start saying things, whatever it is, whatever comes to me at that moment. I just keep going and I don't hold on to it. Right. That's the true.
That's the hard thing for me to do. I hold on to everything.
Me too. Right. And especially negative things. Like if we go see a fucking show about some, you know, killer or something, and then you start fucking thinking about that negative ass shit.
Did you ever see
like a week ago,
The Last Dance by the Michael Jordan documentary?
I didn't. I only watched like two.
There was a part at the end where he finished his sixth. He scored. He did 6 titles.
Yeah.
With the Bulls, and all the bullshit aside, he did it. And they asked him, they were like, "So what's your move for next season?" He's like, "I don't give a fuck. I'm living in the moment. I wish I could live in the moment. I never could. I never can.
Oh, me either.
I can't.
Me either,
it
dog.
Sucks. It's the one thing that I wish I could do.
So I guess that's the thing, right?
Living in the moment.
Quit wishing or quit telling. Like, actually, I had this thought today. Are you listening to your mind or are you talking to your mind? Because there's 2 different things. If you listen to your mind, you're going to listen to all that chatter that you're telling literally yourself, right? And you're going to be, if you're listening to it, versus if you're talking, you're saying whatever the fuck you want to say. You know what I mean? So I think that was one of the big things that I got from the Michael Jordan, like The Last Dance. Even what I saw was that this person just has so much self-confidence.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And that's the thing that made Muhammad Ali great. Did you watch that Amazon movie?
No.
The Amazon movie, did you see the trailers for it? It was like Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, and somebody in Miami.
The 3 black guys?
In Miami?
Yeah.
Or something?
Yeah, that's just...
No, yeah, of course.
The 3 nights, the one night in Miami or whatever. One night.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I haven't finished it, but I watched a little bit of it. And the thing about it, bro, was that Cassius Clay, right? Muhammad Ali, he was not even who he wanted to be. It was just who he said he was. He is that. You know what I mean? And that was the thing that made him great. Was that he can literally come up in here in a podcast, a press conference, whatever. He's like, I'll tell you how great I am because I am great. I believe I'm great. And if you don't think that I'm great, then you could take your ass, you go outside.
I like that.
right? So that's what I want to teach these kids.
There you go.
Self-esteem, self-confidence, and the biggest one, self-talk. I learned that from a TED Talk. TED Talks. Shout out to TED Talk for sponsoring this.
I like TED Talks. I'll be honest with you, because I had somebody try to say shit about me on Twitter, and I was like thinking about it. I did respond, but I deleted it. I was like, you know what? You're not. It's like you're not. I think one thing, if I could tell kids, if you're listening, kids, like people, you're not gonna tell me what I am. I am what I say I am. Like, people don't get to say what I am.
Exactly, bro.
That's a good thing to learn. Like, what is that? Self-esteem, whatever, confidence.
It's literally a little bit of everything.
You don't let people tell you what they think. You know, don't let people tell. What I'm fucking drunk. My bad. Don't let people. If you don't know who you are, then they're gonna tell you who you are. Then, don't let people say things about you, because you know who you are.
Yeah.
I'm fucking drunk. My bad. I'm a little fucked up.
I mean, yeah, we kind of are. I guess we both are a little bit. Well, I went live in case that you wanted to say something.
Oh, okay, yeah, we'll end it here pretty soon.
We'll see you fuck them kids.
What are we at, Young Jews?
We at 105.
Shit. Who's on there? Let me see what's up.
I don't know, man. It's the life.
We're live on the Snake
It's
Pit.
alive.
So there you go. Look at it.
Can you?
I don't even know what I was trying to say earlier.
Yeah, don't move the table though. Don't move the table. Get your elbows from the table. You never learn no manners, etiquette.
This is my table. I do whatever I want.
Exactly, and you should. And I concede my fucking my statement. You know. Wait. So self-esteem though. So.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I learned that from a TED Talk, which was self-talk. You know, like. Oh. But no, what you were talking about even better was okay. In my class, right? The thing that I say is, okay, you know, group, the only rule that we have in here is that you respect each other. You make sure that everybody's comfortable and that you don't label anybody. So then somebody's doing something and they're like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. I'm like, I told you don't label nobody. They're like, I'm labeling myself. I'm like, no, you can't do that. Are you labeling yourself negatively? Then that's outside this door. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to oppress you. Oppression. That's capitalism, right?
But shout out to capitalism.
but secretly shouts out to capitalism just a little bit, because I'm an entrepreneur. That's what I came here to do, be an entrepreneur.
Competitive
education
breeds I
ended up in education,
like innovation.
And
that's what it is.
Competitive
competition breeds innovation.
Well, it's like how far do we develop? When do we stop? You know. So economics. That's what I loved and I studied. I studied advertising, but it was only because of economics. That's what led me there, and it was like trying to compete and keep developing and keep growing, and we just keep consuming. It's like, at what point does the economy like just take a meditation? Like, figure out what's going on here. You know, do I really need this, you know, $1,000 phone and $600 car payment and a $1,600 house payment and all these other things? It's like what? Okay, you know, who's selling me on this, bro? Like, who sold this to me? And that's not fair, right? Because that's oppression, right? Like when somebody gets into a deal that they didn't know they were getting into, that's pretty fucked up. That's pretty fucked up, right? Because I'm all for games. I'm all for capitalism. I'm all for competition.
Competition for sure.
I'm a huge competitor. I love sports, bro. You guys want to go play some basketball? We could play 21 right now. You know what I mean? I'm a
That'd be fun. I'm a play. Fucked up.
I'm a play. Yeah. But I'm gonna bring what I can to the table. You know what I mean?
Nice.
But at some point, it comes to the point of like, it's not fun anymore. And like, we're just playing because it's fun versus now we're playing because I could just make the most money. And money isn't real either, right? You could have 5 houses, you can only live in one.
Here you go.
Right? Like, and honestly, it's really all nothing. Like, I don't know, man.
I think about that too.
Yeah. What's the purpose of life? What's the meaning?
Well, I'm a little fucking drunk. I don't know if that's still going. Is that still going?
Oh, it's dead.
Did that still go on?
Yeah, that died, bro.
Oh, it died.
No, but that's what keeps the people going. I hope it posts, so it might not have.
Jules,
What's up, sir?
how was this conversation, sir? You good?
I'm good, man.
Was it good? Did you,
Yeah, learned a lot.
Before I got a little too fucked up.
I mean, I haven't been
Look at all
more
these
than I
viewers,
should have. More than I should be.
Jules, you got anything else to say, brother?
Oh, and I got
Nothing at all, man.
Hey, man, thanks for being here again.
Of course.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah.
Gonna need you tomorrow, so thank you.
Oh yeah. Got you, man.
I do want to finish up with one thing.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, if anybody made it this far, right,
they would.
in this fucking podcast of my people, your people, sure, my
Okay,
people,
okay.
right? This is the first time that they see some shit like this, and I'm random, dog. Nobody knows.
It's been pretty random. It's a good one. I like it.
I was trying to stay on topic. Okay, so I have this opportunity. And we're trying to see what happens. So we're moving to Jacksonville at the end of May. So I mean, I'm leaving my kids. I've asked to stay on in some way for like the STEM program. I still want to see. I want to see these kids graduate and all those types of things too. You know. So I still want to be there. But this volunteer organization, Tomorrow's Leaders, nonprofit, Lubbock, look them up. Donate whatever you have to. They have no types of donations and things like that. So we're trying to get it there, but we have an opportunity of actually getting a school here in Lubbock, and we are going to hopefully we're going to meet with the school board. Literally at 10:30, I have a call. What time is it right now?
I'm not sure.
Perfect. I'll give him 10:45, right? So we could finish our remarks and we have a chance of getting a school. It looks like everything's going to work. And pretty much this older gentleman, he's worked for the church a long time and stuff. He's like, dude, there's something about you that I see. And I think you're the one to do this. He said, I've been running this program for 6 years, 7 years. It's not where I want it to be. I think you're the person to do this entirely new initiative, bro. You want to hear this shit?
Let us know.
This is only here. This is the first time. Not even the school board knows this, right?
If it's all right to say, because I'm not gonna edit it out.
Fuck no, don't edit that shit. At LISD, we are going to get this school. We are going to start an alternative school, and it's going to be called something like Second School. It's not the first one you go to. It's the second one. It's for the kids who don't live regular experiences, right? The kids that don't want a regular education. We're going to give them the types of things like ethics, like fucking world-renowned education and any topic that they want, right? Social emotional learning, talking about their day, asking them how they are, all those types of things. Journaling, writing, pen pals, whatever, right? A lot of community in that. We're building that here. And I've only been in this talks for 2 weeks, and it's happening. It's happening. That's all I got to say.
There you go.
Yeah. Nice.
Good. I'm glad. You ain't even from here.
I'll drink a beer to that.
I will too if I have some. Thank you. That's it. Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Of course, man.
We'll see you next time. Have a good night. That was episode 92. It was a fun one. And I got a little drunk at the end, but oh well. Again, thank you, Julian. And again, thank you, Alexis, for coming on and helping. Shirts are available. Hit me up. And hope you've liked and subscribed by now and commented. If not, go ahead and do that. And we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.